On June 10, 2024, at around 1:10 p.m., a small, single-engine plane crashed in a vacant farm field in Bridgewater Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan. The crash happened at East Michigan Avenue and Lima Center Road, about 30 minutes southwest of Ann Arbor. Witnesses reported that the plane appeared to nosedive before it plummeted to the ground. The scene was alarming, with the plane's front caved in, though the wings and tail remained intact. This incident led to the tragic loss of one life and left another person injured, setting the stage for a thorough investigation into what went wrong. Before we dive into details of this crash, subscribe to our channel. The crash occurred at approximately 1:10 p.m. on June 10, 2024, in a vacant farm field located at the intersection of East Michigan Avenue and Lima Center Road in Bridgewater Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan. This small, rural town is situated around 30 minutes southwest of Ann Arbor. The incident unfolded when the plane, a single-engine Piper PA-28 Cherokee, nosedived and crashed to the ground. The plane's front section was severely damaged and caved in upon impact, yet the rest of the aircraft, including its wings and tail, remained surprisingly intact. This unusual feature of the crash site suggested that the plane did not break apart during the descent, although the force of the impact caused significant destruction to the front of the aircraft. The crash took place in an open field, which, while being a less populated area, still posed significant dangers due to the plane's sudden and uncontrollable descent. Despite the serious damage to the plane, responders managed to approach the site quickly and effectively, with various agencies arriving at the scene to assist. These responders included Clinton Police, fire and ambulances, Michigan State Police, and the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office. The scene itself painted a tragic picture, leaving the community in shock and prompting a detailed investigation by federal authorities to understand the cause behind this catastrophic event. The crash tragically claimed the life of the instructor, a 46-year-old man from Dearborn, Michigan. According to Michigan State Police, he was the pilot at the controls during the flight. The second occupant, a 22-year-old man from North Carolina, was a student at the University of Michigan and was the one who survived the crash. The young man was injured in the incident and had to be flown by medical airlift to University Hospital in Ann Arbor for treatment. His injuries were serious, but he was fortunate to be alive after such a devastating crash. Despite the efforts to save the instructor, he sadly did not survive. The incident left both families and the local community in mourning, highlighting the inherent risks involved in aviation, even with experienced pilots. The crash brought attention to the tragic loss of life and the importance of safety measures in training and flight operations. Witnesses played an important role in shedding light on the events leading up to the crash. One key witness, Ken Kraus, a local resident, was working on his patio when he noticed the plane flying overhead. From his vantage point, Kraus saw the plane at an estimated altitude of about 1,000 feet above the ground. He described the plane as appearing to be in controlled flight initially, but then suddenly it seemed to nosedive. This sudden and unexpected descent was alarming, as Kraus watched helplessly from a distance. His observation of the plane's behavior just before the crash suggested that the aircraft was in some form of distress or experiencing a malfunction. The description of the nosedive provided critical insight into the flight's final moments, allowing investigators to better understand the chain of events. The plane's rapid descent was a clear indication that something had gone wrong during the flight, and Kraus's account helped to piece together the timeline. While not an eyewitness to the crash itself, his observations of the plane's behavior added a vital layer to the investigation, helping to inform the subsequent analysis of the aircraft's final flight path and potential causes behind the tragedy. Emergency responders were quick to arrive at the crash site and provided immediate assistance. Clinton Police, fire, and ambulance teams, along with troopers from the Michigan State Police Brighton Post, rushed to the scene shortly after the crash. They were joined by the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office, all of which coordinated their efforts to secure the area and begin the necessary recovery operations. The response was efficient, with teams ensuring the safety of the public and beginning the process of extracting the injured passenger from the wreckage. The injured 22-year-old student was quickly airlifted by a medical flight to University Hospital in Ann Arbor for further treatment. Unfortunately, despite efforts to save the instructor, he did not survive the crash. The quick action of local law enforcement, fire departments, and medical teams was crucial in minimizing further harm and addressing the immediate needs following the tragic event. The coordinated response also helped secure the crash site and clear the area for further investigation, allowing the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board to arrive the next day to begin their official inquiry into the incident. The swift response undoubtedly played a significant role in handling the aftermath of this unfortunate crash. The aircraft involved in the crash was a Piper PA-28 Cherokee, a small single-engine airplane manufactured in 1975. This model is commonly used for training and light private flights. The plane was owned by Silvered Wings LLC and was registered in Howell, Michigan, according to the FAA registry. Despite its age, the Piper PA-28 Cherokee is generally known for its durability and reliability in light aviation. However, its design and maintenance were under scrutiny following the crash, as it was important to determine whether mechanical failure, pilot error, or environmental factors played a role in the incident. The fact that the plane was a small, older aircraft made it crucial to investigate whether its age and condition contributed to the crash. The FAA and NTSB were expected to examine the aircraft in detail as part of their investigation, focusing on both its operational history and the specifics of the crash itself. The crash site revealed that while the plane's wings and tail were still intact, the front section had sustained heavy damage, raising questions about the potential role of aircraft condition in the tragic outcome. This will be a critical aspect of the ongoing investigation. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board were notified about the crash shortly after it occurred. Both agencies are responsible for investigating aviation accidents and determining their causes. The NTSB's role is particularly crucial as they conduct a detailed examination of the crash site, the aircraft, and all other relevant factors. Investigators were expected to arrive at the crash scene the following morning, as they needed to assess the wreckage and gather evidence to piece together what happened. Their investigation would include analyzing flight data, inspecting the aircraft for any mechanical failures, and looking into weather conditions at the time of the crash. The FAA would also be involved in reviewing the aircraft's maintenance history and any potential issues related to its registration or modifications. The collaboration between the FAA and NTSB ensures a thorough investigation into the incident, aiming to understand the underlying causes and prevent similar accidents in the future. Public safety is a priority, and both agencies work together to release their findings once the investigation is complete, providing insight into the events that led to the tragedy. The crash site was located in a vacant farm field at the intersection of East Michigan Avenue and Lima Center Road in Bridgewater Township. This rural location provided an open space for the plane to land, but the crash itself caused significant damage. The plane's body, including its wings and tail, remained mostly intact after the crash, though the front section of the aircraft was severely caved in. This indicated that while the plane didn't break apart during the descent, the impact was strong enough to cause major damage to the front. The fact that the wings and tail were still largely intact suggested that the plane's structure had withstood the crash to some extent. The field, though vacant and relatively safe, still posed significant risks due to the plane's sudden and uncontrollable fall. The wreckage was a critical piece of evidence for investigators to analyze during their inquiry. The exact cause of the crash remains unclear, but several factors are being examined as part of the investigation. One possibility being explored is mechanical failure, particularly with regard to the plane's age and condition. The Piper PA-28 Cherokee, manufactured in 1975, may have experienced issues that led to the crash, but this is yet to be confirmed. Another potential factor is pilot error or misjudgment, as both the instructor and student were involved in the flight. The aircraft's handling, the weather conditions at the time, and any possible miscommunication between the two pilots are being carefully analyzed. Investigators from the FAA and NTSB are looking into these aspects to understand whether any environmental factors, such as wind or visibility, played a role. Ultimately, the goal of the investigation is to identify all contributing factors and provide a clear understanding of what caused the crash, ensuring that similar accidents can be prevented in the future. The crash serves as a reminder of the importance of aviation safety and the need for continuous training and vigilance. In aviation, even minor miscalculations or overlooked factors can lead to catastrophic consequences, as seen in this incident. It emphasizes the need for thorough pre-flight checks, attention to environmental conditions, and the necessity for pilots to adhere strictly to safety protocols, especially when flying older aircraft. The investigation will likely highlight how small details, such as weather conditions, aircraft maintenance, and pilot experience, can combine to create dangerous situations. For the public, it underscores the critical role of the FAA and NTSB in investigating such incidents and improving safety standards. This crash is a tragic reminder of the risks associated with aviation, but it also offers an opportunity to learn and implement preventive measures to ensure safer flying practices for the future.